I'm here virtually today with Dr. Lauren Grodin, who is a licensed pediatric psychologist at DiMaggio Children's Hospital in Hollywood, Florida, where she serves as the pediatric psychologist embedded within the pediatric cardiac, heart transplant, and kidney transplant programs, as well as the pediatric dialysis program. Dr. Grodin has been practicing for nearly a decade, providing mental health services for children and families in Maryland, Texas, and Florida. You know, there is a lot of anxiety with families. Families are experiencing, in some instances, not loss of income or loss of a loved one. How do we as adults make sure that we aren't exhibiting that anxiety for our kids to pick up on that? And where's the balance between being open and honest and talking about it and having that anxiety kind of come through and impact our kids?
You know, that's a really good question. I think it's important to recognize that children regularly feed off of the emotions and behaviors of the adults that are around them. So if we are showing them that we're highly distressed and anxious, kids are likely going to feel highly distressed and anxious too. Now it's a balance, because we want kids to recognize that it's okay to feel sad and it's okay to feel anxious right now, and normalizing those emotions is important. And so talking about it is going to be that first step, and allowing kids to understand that yes, we're having a hard time too. And it's okay to feel this way, and you're not alone in feeling this way. Parents are under a lot of stress, just as you said, and kids pick up on our verbal and our nonverbal cues. They're very keen. So we may not be saying it, but they're seeing it in our nonverbals. So it's really important that we acknowledge that and talk to our kids and model good coping. So just as much as kids pick up on our poor coping habits, they also pick up on our positive emotions and our good coping. So it's really important that parents and our educators, you know, put a lot of emphasis on good self-care and taking care of ourselves, and recognizing, you know, what am I feeling, checking in with ourselves regularly while also checking in with their kids. So it's kind of like the analogy of when you go on a plane and they go over, you know, the flight plan, and, you know, if we need our oxygen masks, make sure you put it on yourself first before you put it on your kids. It's the same thing as far as coping and managing significant stressors. We want to make sure we're taking really good care of ourselves as adults and as caregivers, so we are better equipped to take care of our kids when they need it. So I think that's really important, to be acknowledging our own challenges and the own stress we're experiencing to better support our kids right now.
So if there was one thing you could tell all the educators out there right now, people who are trying to figure out how they serve kids online and virtually and provide that routine and that structure and that love and care, what's the one thing you tell them?
I think the biggest take-home message is to be flexible and to be forgiving with yourself. This is a steep learning curve for everyone. I know for families, we're trying to figure out this new virtual learning reality that we're facing, and educators are also likely not experienced in doing this. And it's okay to be taking it one step at a time, do the best that you can, collaborate, work together to come up with new ideas, to get creative, to support one another in this process. But it's important we recognize that it's okay if we don't know how to do everything, and we're figuring it out and just trying our best. Because if we fixate on all the things that are outside of our control right now, rather than the few things that are within our control, then we're going to struggle. So focus in on, okay, here are the things that I do have control over and that I do know how to do, or that the people that I can reach out to for assistance, and acknowledging, okay, these are the little things that I did today that worked out or that helped my child. It's going to make you feel in better control of everything going on in the long term.
That's a really good point. I think we forget that a lot of times when we're listening to the news, right? We forget that there are these things that we can do and we can impact. You know, I also think that we have forgotten that it's okay to write a letter, that it's okay to, you know, pick up the phone and call someone. And so, you know, what are the things that you think can continue to help kids specifically cope, but also still be connected?
So I think you make really good points. It's almost like getting back to the basics. We forget that there are lots of ways to stay connected that don't require all of the face-to-face physical interaction. Letters, just like you said, when was the last time we probably picked up a pen or a crayon and wrote a letter and sent it in the mail? And that can be really fun for kids. They don't often do things like that. So make it an activity. Okay, let's sit down and write a letter to Nana, and we're gonna draw a pretty picture and we're gonna send it in the mail. You can help with addressing the envelope, putting the stamp on it and sticking it in the mailbox. You know, those are things that really, for little kids, get them really excited. And again, making routines of having, you know, check-ins virtually. So virtual phone calls or video calls with family members, with friends. I know my kids have had a number of virtual play dates with their friends that help them stay connected. And while it doesn't replace the physical interaction and the face-to-face interaction, it certainly is a decent substitute right now to at least allow them to stay connected and have fun with it, to kind of bridge the gap from where we are to eventually, hopefully, you know, reconnecting with everyone.